Okay, to start off today, we have a bit of a controversial one, I feel. It is titled, Am I the arsehole for not buying my girlfriend an expensive engagement ring? Story time. So I'm 26 and I've been with my girlfriend for 4 years. We've recently been talking more and more about marriage. Although my girlfriend, who we'll call Amy, grew up relatively well off, for the time I've known her, she's been very low maintenance. She's never cared for designer bags, very rarely buys herself new clothes, and the jewellery she owns was all gifted to her and all passed down. Now, I have a decent job. I earn about 80 grand a year. Jesus, that's a very good job, sir. Congratulations. I mean, you've not specified your gender, but we'll go with you. The fact, oh no, you are a Steve. You did tell me 26 male. And I've been saving for a while, but growing up, my family had nowhere near as much money as Amy. Amy and I always seem to be on the same page when it comes to saving money. I assumed she would be fine with a more affordable ring. When I started looking into rings, I discovered a moissanite ring. For anyone that doesn't know, moissanite isn't a diamond. However, they are way more sparkly, just as hard, and a bit cheaper, less expensive, which looks similar to diamonds and way more affordable. I was looking at rings in the more 1,500 to 1,800 range. I think that's a very reasonable amount. However, if you're earning 80k every year, let's do a little working out here, shall we? So we've got 80,000 divided by 12. So you're earning average maybe 6 grand every month. And you're supposed to, well, they say you're supposed to do 3 months average wage, but, you know, I think that's a bit outdated now. But even if you just did half a monthly income, you'd still be earning 3. Anyway, when I mentioned this to her, she insisted she wanted a real diamond ring and sent me links to a bunch of rings that she liked. These were all in the price range of 6.5 to 10k. I told her that I wasn't willing to spend that much. She seemed genuinely really mad and said that it wasn't that expensive. We got into a pretty big argument over it, and I told her that it was ridiculous of me to spend that much money, and I thought she was more reasonable, than that. She said I was being cheap and that I could afford it, which you can afford it. However, 10 grand on a ring is a lot of money. 6 grand on a ring. £1,500 is a lot of money on a ring, you know? Eventually, Amy said she didn't care and that I should get whatever ring I wanted, but she's clearly still mad, and I know this is going to be an ongoing argument. I'm really frustrated because this seems out of left field. I always known marriage is super important to her, but I didn't realise she would insist on a diamond. So I talked to my older sister about it, who, despite agreeing diamond rings are stupidly priced, she sided with Amy and said if I could afford it, she didn't see the big deal. She added that my girlfriend has done so much for me and that I was being an arsehole about this. What my sister means about my girlfriend doing so much for me is that she was really supportive for me when I was in a serious car accident 4 years ago. I broke multiple bones and required lots of surgery. Although where I live, most healthcare is covered, I was unable to work for a while and had expenses I wasn't able to pay. I'd been dating Amy for only 6 months at the time, and she was really there for me. I couldn't pay my rent, so she let me move in with her for free and help pay a few expenses, such as my physical therapy. She also helped me get a job when her uncle, who was vice president of an insurance company. It was an entry-level position, and I had a business degree, so it's not like I was unqualified. However, obviously, I thanked her for all of this, and what she did for me was something, but it's not something we talk about much. I don't think I'm obliged to buy an expensive ring because she helped me out a few years ago. Fair. But I'm on my own. But if my own sister said this, I'm guessing my girlfriend must feel the same way too. So, Tatty, am I the arsehole here? Here's the thing, right? At the end of the day, it's your money. I know some girls want a mad expensive wedding ring, engagement ring. I know some people aren't bothered about the price. At the end of the day, I do feel like girls care about the cost of their ring. I have no idea how much mine costs. No, and I don't want to know. I don't want that burden of me knowing how much I'm carrying around on my ring. By the way, this is going to be a new personality trait for the first few weeks. Just let me have my moment. I'll get over it. Well, will I get over it? Who knows? But These are really important conversations that you need to be having. Again, ring shopping, ding, ding. Why don't you and Amy talk about the option of a lab-grown diamond? Still a diamond, still the same chemical compound. It's just not mined. More ethical. Way. We love an ethical queenie. Moistenites, I feel like my promise rings are moissanite, and Jordan always said that he was saving the real diamond for my engagement ring, which I think is a nice story, which he did. I think it's a conversation that you guys need to be having. I would actually encourage you guys in this situation to maybe go shopping together, because there may be a ring that Amy absolutely loves that is more in your price range, maybe upper end of yours, like 2.5, you know? It all depends on you and your relationship. She isn't showy, she isn't blah, blah, blah. I am not like big into my designer bags, or I'm not doing all of that all the time or whatnot. However, I'm a jewelry girl, which is why it was so important to me that we went shopping together, so that I knew it matched my other stuff and bits and bobs like that. It's really tough. What you said about the car accident, she helped you because she loved you, not because you guys could have broken up. You've only been together like 6 months at that point. You've been together for 4 years now. She's not looking after you in the hopes that she's going to get a 10 grand engagement ring out of you, surely. And if she is, then she's not the person for you. It's not a transactional situation when you're caring for someone. Yeah, sit down. Why don't you take those pictures to a jeweler together? You get, like me and Jordan did. We got nice and dressed up. I put on a cute dress. Jordan had like a nice outfit on. You make a nice day of it, but nice breakfast, and then it's a collaboration between the two of you, and you could even design something that you feel fits Amy's requirements, fat rock vibe, but also as well, you try different things on and you think, that's too big, like that looks too big on me, that's not going to age well with me, I'm not going to grow older and think, wow, this is a timeless piece. I think you need to sit down, have a quick chat, like treat her to a special day. You know, you don't have to buy anything on that day. You can just go and assess the situation. And I think, sir, that is how you will resolve the situation for you and your Amy. I wish you all the best. And at the end of the day, it's your money. If you hadn't have spoken about prices, she probably wouldn't have known the price. And she probably wouldn't know the difference between a lab-grown or a real mined diamond either.
Please fill my cup. Am I really asking for much? It's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup. Find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking for a good time. Oh, 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 oh. And I'm singing like, whoa.